Lesson 6. Our target today says, I can determine who my audience is and begin to think about a topic for my writing. So we're going to do quite a few things today, friends, so let's get into it. First and foremost, we've talked about facts and opinions. Let's review. What is a fact? Pause the video if you want to try to say it out loud real fast. All right, what is a fact? A fact is something that is always true. What about an opinion? What is an opinion? Take a pause if you want to think about it. What is an opinion? An opinion is something that you think, feel, or believe. Remember, an opinion is something that you think, feel, or believe, but it may not be something that someone else thinks. But a fact is something that's always true, no matter who thinks or says it. In this unit, we are going to be writing our opinions about a book we've read, also known as a book review. Our goal will be to persuade our reader to want to read our book too. Remember, to persuade means to convince someone to have the same opinion as you. Lately, we have been practicing how to share our opinions. When sharing our opinion, it is important to give details to support why you think or feel the way you do. We can use Oreo to help organize our ideas. For Oreo, O stands for opinion. Say what you think. R stands for reason. Say why you think that. E stands for evidence. Give an example to support your opinion. And the O stands for opinion again, because you want to restate your opinion again so that we know that for sure that's how you feel. So when we start to write our persuasive book reviews, it is important for us to remember Oreo. Writers who use Oreo are likely to share a strong opinion with their readers and not a weak one. A weak opinion is one that only says what you think, but a strong opinion has reasons and examples to support what you think. When we are sharing our opinion to persuade someone to have the same idea as us, it is important to know who our audience is. What is an audience? And why do we need to know who our audience is when we're trying to persuade? Take a pause, and when you're ready to see the answer, go to the next slide. Here we go. Well, an audience is the people who would like to hear what you have to say. They are the people who you are trying to persuade. Second grade writers need to know who their audience is so that when we share our reasons and examples, we can actually convince those people to have our same opinion. Think about it this way. The way that you would try to convince your mom or dad to give you a later bedtime is a lot different than the ways you would try to convince your teacher to give you extra recess time. Knowing your audience matters. Next week, we are going to start planning for our Unit 2 writing project. Your job will be to choose a book and a character that you've liked the most from the stories we've read this unit. Then, you will use what we've learned about making a strong argument to write a book review that will convince your audience to want to read the same book as you. So, I want you to think and share to yourself or to whoever's next to you. Who do you think is the audience of the book we've read? Who did the authors want to read their books? Next, I want you to think about who will be our audience for our book reviews. Who are we trying to persuade? And then lastly, what information do you think our audience will want to know? If you were the audience, what would you want to know about a book before reading it? I want you to think about these questions, friends, and they will help us as we start to write our book reviews next week. Think about your audience. How are you going to write to them, and what information do you think you'll need to share to convince them to read our books? All right, friends, happy writing.